Retweet it, Dex, and then I'll go retweet it.
All right, guys. We are live. All right, 3, 2, 1. Welcome to the One Take Podcast, episode 65. This week we are doing what Tej would call an ass movie. Just coming in hot. No, we are doing Those Who Wish Me Dead on HBO Max. It is a 2021 movie. We are joined though by Marcus Bennett,
Brent.
Sorry, I'm
no worries, Brent.
He can't be a Bennett brother. They had like immense football talent, and you don't want to see this guy.
You know, normally I'm really good at I normally like get the names down, and I normally know where your Twitter is and everything else. Even ask Tej, and then I come in here. I'm just gonna quit, guys. I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
It's all right, bro. It's totally fine. You didn't call me Brent Marcus, which usually happens having two first names. So, either way is good.
Marcus, how you doing, man? Thanks for joining us.
I'm good, man. I'm good. Thank you for having me, y'all.
Sorry that we picked a bad. We always seem to do that. Is what I was telling Marcus before. We're like, well, we'll have a guest on, and then it's just a bad movie.
Yeah, it's not the best of films. And
Matt got lucky. Matt got a good movie.
I was asking TJ when he told me about it, because I saw the trailer and I was like, this doesn't look good. And then TJ told me that y'all were going to do it for this pod, and I was like, is Angelina Jolie just low on money? Because she's in the Eternals, she's in this. Clearly, all the kids that she bought away from Africa are causing her to get back into the game. Because otherwise, I don't understand why she's in such a horrible movie.
Those kids are expensive, bro.
She's paying Brad Pitt's alimony.
Very much so.
Dex, new job, new life.
New job, who this?
New job, who this?
I'm so fucking excited, man. I'm finally out here getting more money. You know, Fuck that job. If you're tired of your job, go get another one. Fuck it.
It's big tricking time, bro.
Big tricking time. I can't wait. I'm gonna step up my fucking podcast game, get off this blue snowball mic. So I'm not talking in the back of
oh my god, I cannot wait for the blue snowball mic to be gone.
Old Windows machine or whatever.
Put that in the Smithsonian.
Hell yeah. We off this shit in a little while, bros.
Tej, how we doing, man? You really did not like this movie.
I'm good, man. I'm good. I also, like Marcus, saw the trailer before we decided to pick this movie. I was like, oh, I think I'm gonna hate this. But it's not even that it was a horrible movie. It's more of just like it was a pointless movie to me. I was just like, why did this movie get made? But you know, he made Sicario, man. And once you make Sicario, I'm not gonna slander you too much, but we're gonna talk about this film.
Well,
Sicario's great.
Taylor Sheridan has had an interesting career so far as a writer-director and an actor, actually. Started out as an actor. Anyway, Those Who Wish Me Dead, 2021 film, has a 6.0 on IMDb. It is rated R. It is blazingly fast at an hour and 40 minutes. Not even, really.
It's really quick.
It's like an hour and 30 with like the ending credits. A teenage murder witness finds himself pursued by twin assassins in the Montana wilderness, with a survival expert tasked with protecting him, and a forest fire threatening to consume them all. That's literally the plot. That's it. There's nothing.
They were twins?
I don't know. I doubt that.
There was never get that at all.
He did call him brother, but I didn't realize they were twins, but he did call him brother.
They really should have delved into the Breaking Bad thing and just had those two Hispanic twins come back and just be the people trying to catch him.
One was like 30 years older than the other one.
Yeah, very much.
That's the thing. One of them definitely looks older. Littlefinger definitely looks older than the other dude.
No, because the other guy's from he's Beast in the X-Men movies.
Yeah,
I knew that's where I knew him from. I knew him from somewhere.
Yeah, I mean he was in Mad Max as well too. But so it was written and directed by Taylor Sheridan. But side note, this isn't a Taylor Sheridan solo written project, which we've seen over the past couple of things that he's done, where he's been on the been a screenplay credit. But his solo written films are way better, and we can talk about that a little bit. It was co-written with the guy who wrote the book, Michael Gorta. I don't know how you pronounce that, and Charles Levitt. It stars Angelina Jolie. Yeah, it's a Taylor Sheridan film, so John Barenthal has to be in here. We were talking about Nicholas Hoult, Aidan Gillen, and Finn Little as Connor, the child actor, or the guy that witnesses the murder, and then 5 minutes of Tyler, not even 5 minutes of Tyler Perry.
Not even remotely.
3.5 minutes at max of Tyler Perry.
Just random Tyler Perry appearance. Yeah, just crazy. And yeah, so this has a 58 on Metacritic, and it's made like $7 million worldwide because Panorama. 63% on Rotten Tomatoes, 84% audience score.
Ow.
What?
A squarely traditional 90s style action thriller. Those Who Wish Me Dead is elevated by Taylor Sheridan's propulsive direction. I would disagree.
Elevated to what?
Don't put the word squarely in front of calling my movie traditional. Don't put squarely. Like, that seems like slander. That seems like slander.
It is there's a lot of things when I've seen people calling it like a 90s action thriller. 90s in the way that there was literally no plot.
Yeah.
Like Speed. Like bus go fast go boom. Like that's what this plot was. That's how thin this was. Anyway, Marcus.
Oh Lord Jesus, it's a fire, the movie.
Yeah. Anyway, Marcus, guess go first. Give it a letter grade. Give it a review. What'd you think about it?
I'm gonna go and give it borderline C-, probable D+. I didn't hate it like TJ did, but he did tell me something, because the problem was that he told me it was really bad. So I went in thinking it was going to be horrible. And then I was sitting there like grading it as if trying to wait for it to be bad, which it was, but it wasn't like as terrible as he was saying. So, but I got through the movie and I was talking to him about it a little earlier, and he told me that we don't know what the dad knew to start the whole movie off. And I realized I hadn't checked that. Like we'd gone through this entire adventure. He had told 3 people what he did, and no one knows what he did. So if I could give it an incomplete, I would give it an incomplete based solely on that. But it was interesting, to say the least, of anything else.
How did the first scene with the kid makes no sense? The dad is in the car. The dad is acting weird. And the first thing the kid says is, "Dad, what did you do?" That's not how you talk to your parents. Like, what are you talking about? Like, Dad, you're acting weird. What did you do? I was just like, wait, who the fuck is this perceptive kid? Like, why is this kid so perceptive? Like, well, maybe I did nothing. Maybe we're just in danger for some other reason. Like, what? Who knows it's something that I did? And Dad's like, just know that I did the right thing. And it's like, you don't talk to your kids like that. It didn't make any sense.
So matter of factly, I did the right thing. Don't worry about it. Let's go for a joyride.
I swear to God.
I swear to God, I did the right thing. All
We're
right,
going to the woods now. Bye.
Oh man. Tej, go ahead, man.
I'm gonna give this movie a D. It's, first of all, let me say the good things. The acting is perfectly fine in this movie. John Barenthal is good in everything. He's amazing. Littlefinger, whose real name I will never know, is perfectly fine as the villain of this movie. Littlefinger's little brother, that apparently is his twin, which doesn't make sense that they are twins, was perfectly fine in this movie. The kid is fine. Angelina Jolie's fine. The cast of characters that you get to hang out with when you meet the fire people that I thought we were going to spend a lot more time with, they were pretty cool. It's a perfectly fine cast. I thought the cast did what they could do, but they had nothing to do. Like, this movie is about Angelina Jolie almost getting struck by lightning twice in the same day, and also happening to have a happenstance meeting with a child in the woods who she began chasing, which is totally a sexual predator thing to do. You don't just start chasing kids that are running. And then a big storm happens that also almost got her struck by lightning twice. And also a forest fire is happening. And also men are chasing her with automatic weapons. And all this is happening in the same day. And I was just like, but how did we get here? How did we get here? She's also going through PTSD because she forgot to save some kid, or she couldn't save some kid that died in the fire before, which is supposed to be the emotional tie-in to why she's helping this kid.
Kids, multiple. They show those kids burning multiple times.
Yeah, it's like 3 random ass kids just in the woods.
So those kids died. She can't get over the fact that those kids died, even though there was no chance for her to save those kids, which is supposed to be the motivation behind the character, which propels her to help this kid and put her life on the line to help this kid. But they don't really ever actually get to those depths of like, now that I've helped this kid, my PTSD is going to do better. And then the kids at the end of the movie, which was the best writing in the movie, the kid says, so what happens now? And she's like, oh, they're going to come pick us up in a helicopter. And the kid's like, no, I'm talking about my life. Like, what the fuck happens to me? My fucking dad is dead. I don't have anywhere to go. And she just goes, we'll figure it out together. End of movie. And it's like, what? This is a D. I as much as I love Sicario, and so I will not completely slander Taylor Sheridan, the fact that this is based on a book is crazy to me because there's no plot of this movie. Like, they don't give you any of the backstory. They don't give you any of the plot. Things are just happening. There's just like a big-ass fire. They just wanted to make a movie that had cool fire effects because it looked cool when they were in the forest and the fire was like on the background. That's why this movie was made, because somebody wanted to play with fire. Yeah,
there's no way that this movie, this book, and granted, we haven't read it because why would we? But like there's no way that this book is this bare bones as this script is.
Exactly. It can't.
It's not possible.
It can't be.
No. Because it would be a weird book.
15 pages. Like, if it's longer than 50 pages, it can't be.
The other thing about it is that the way they keep playing this over, and it's like what's the movie that Sylvester Stallone loses the handle on the guy? It's like Vertical. He's like over a cavern, and he not Point Break, sorry. But anyway, the point was that like the kids were in range of her. It's like those kids were 500 yards away, and they were just like, you can't save them. You will die literally fire. Going into the fire a foot in front of you. Not only can you not go save them, you are about to die. Those kids are screwed. Let it go.
And then, I mean, she saw one of her co-workers bitch out and then burn to death. Like, and then she was like, I can save them. You sure?
No, you
can't.
Yeah, they showed us that random guy being lit on fire like 4 times.
I mean, was it literally called Cliffhanger, the movie you're thinking about?
Cliffhanger, that's it.
Cliffhanger, that is it. Good job.
That is it.
All right, Dex, go ahead.
It's got to be a D. I don't see how you can give it any higher than that because, like, why the fuck did this movie happen? Like, why did he write this? Why did he want to take on this project? Why did any of these actors who, like Tej mentioned, they all do a pretty good job in it? Why did they do this? Like, why is Tyler Perry here? None of this makes sense. Like, everything just randomly happens. The movie opens with some random lady and her house being blown up. You just never hear about it again.
Never talk about it again.
They killed a DA. A defense attorney died somewhere.
I love how
in the news after that video.
I love how his house explodes. He sees it on the news and he's like, he immediately knew.
Yeah.
Literally immediately, he was like, "Oh, they're coming after me next." Like,
because they're talking about it like a gas explosion. They're like, there was a gas explosion at the DA's house, real tragic. And he's just like, "Oh, they're killing us all. I gotta get out of here.
Time to move."
And we just never know why.
He starts running into the woods, and then he gets a call like, "Hey, why aren't you at work?" There was literally a gas explosion. Like, it wasn't like an assassination attempt or anything.
Yeah. Hey, what happened? That was really an accident. Like, you're actually in danger. Why did you have our son miss his test for no reason?
And then like I'm saying, literally everything that happens in this movie, you have no idea why. Like, why do we care about Angelina Jolie being a firefighter? Like, why is that a thing that HBO Max decided needed to be on their platform? I just don't understand. The movie didn't justify its existence whatsoever. But there were a couple interesting like fight scenes or whatever. Some of the kills were pretty like entertaining to watch. That pregnant lady like going to town on Littlefinger multiple times was
incredible.
Entertaining content. I'm always here to see Littlefinger die. So
he's very good at it.
Yeah, that's what keeps it from being a D. From being an F. It's not an F because Littlefinger died and got his ass kicked 3 different times by a pregnant lady. But beyond that, nothing good happens in this film.
Well, I said to TJ that there are multiple parts of the movie that if you took that move, like the base premise of guy finds out something and is being tracked down by people, needs to tell his kid and confide in his kid to then go get help somewhere else and is being tracked down. That is a movie that works if you build upon it tell us exactly why he's in trouble, of course.
Yeah, but what you just said is exactly what the movie is.
Yeah, but that's the thing.
Like,
So that's the
that
movie.
you have to add in the fact that the weather also hates them and the fire also hates them as well. It's like Sharknado on steroids. Like, why is there so much perilous shit happening to them? Just have the dudes chasing them with the gun. Those are the bad guys. Like,
yeah,
why
like
do
the
we need
forest
forest
backdrop.
fire?
Yeah, it is just completely a waste of time. Like that is that whole element of the movie, which of course is 90% of the movie, doesn't make sense and doesn't need to be in the world, and that's why it's a problem.
They
I
don't
think
even
Angelina Jolie
use
just really wanted to jump on, like, I want to be a firefighting badass, and they were just like, sure, just dust off some of the Laura Croft outfits and we'll make it happen. Like, that's what happened.
How would you feel about falling out of a tower flat onto your back? Is that a stunt you're interested in? We got a movie for you.
And I'm not a lightningologist. I don't know how much the lightning needs to affect you before you have full control of your movements or not. But I feel like if you get struck by lightning, you're down for the count for at least more than 2 minutes and have a slight limp.
Was she wearing a metal jacket or something? How did they keep chasing her? Like, she has the worst luck of anyone in the world. She got struck by lightning, or almost got struck by lightning, twice in like 5 hours. That doesn't make any sense.
She just put some peroxide on it. It's like, all right, let's go. Like, who are you?
And why were they running like a relay race through this field of lightning? Is that how lightning works? That like it can only see one of you at a time?
I did not get that at all.
Yeah, I meant to research that earlier to see if that was in fact what happens.
That must be a thing.
It has to be that you're just not like a lightning rod sticking straight up in the, like, easier to find. The lightning is easier to find you. It's just like,
it's like, bro, just keep running. Why are you stopping? What's happening?
Like, when I stop and jump down on the ground and then you start running, does that make it less likely that I get struck by lightning, or does it make it less likely that you get struck by lightning?
Maybe it's because they're alternating. That if you don't, like you were saying earlier, like if you can go straight and it's just one person going straight, you have a more susceptibility to being struck by lightning versus if one person is trading off with the other person, that there's not one direct contact. But again, I don't know.
Or they both would die if they're just standing
exactly.
Exactly.
Okay, that does make sense. If one of them gets struck by lightning and they're not standing next to each other, by definition, they would not both die. So I guess that does make some sense. But it just, what a weird movie.
Us having to do like that train of thought makes no sense. My favorite thing is like they get hit by lightning. They do all of that just to be like, all right, we got to go back.
Yeah.
Yes. All right. She literally yelled at him like, we are not going back to that fire. We are not. And 5 minutes later, she's like, yeah, we got to go back.
We got to go back.
Oh, man. They like double back in this movie. It felt like 5 times. But okay, I give this movie a C- only because if you literally shut your brain off, which I eventually had to do, and this is kind of the problem I had with Tenet last night too. We can talk about that. But with you literally shut your brain off, it's interesting. It's fun to look at. Not interesting. It's fun to look at and watch and like turn your brain off. Like people are shooting guns and they're running around and everything else. And that's literally what it was. And it looked fine. I thought the gunplay was good. I thought Angelina Jolie was actually kind of compelling, which she normally is in everything that she does.
Love the gunplay. I can agree with that. The gunplay was really awesome.
I don't think they did John Barathol a lot to give him a lot to do, except for yell at the assassins and then die. So that was like,
well, remember he also said, "Fuck it, I think I'm just gonna die right here." Yeah. Even though they had just told him, "We have your wife," which it turned out that they did not have his wife, but they told him, "We have your wife, and if shit goes bad, we're gonna kill your wife and your kid." So he goes with them to the woods, and they're asking him to track where the kid they're looking for went, and he just goes, "No, I'm not doing that. Just kill me right here." And it's like, I understand that they just wanted to give John Barathol like an emotional scene, but it made no sense at all. Like, what? They have your wife. It's not just you dying. Your wife is going to die.
Maybe he figured when the dude was looking like Two-Face out there that she may have gotten away.
Yeah, so I was telling TJ earlier, the part of the movie that really doesn't track for me is that section as a whole. The section with when they get to the cabin with him and his wife, and it's just the wife there. So she grabs the deer rifle and jumps out of the house. They can't find her. Then John Bernthal shows up and he's cornered, knocked down after his sheriff chief dies. And it's just clearly it's just them two. So does she not have ammo? Because then they show the sequence where she runs back into the house to grab the ammo and then leave. So we're supposed to assume that she doesn't have ammo.
Yeah, because she could have sniped them, right?
Exactly. But, like, that whole sequence doesn't need to happen because she has a rifle to kill them. And
Yeah.
I feel like if you incapacitate either Littlefinger or the other guy, like, you have a way for your husband to at least be able to do better than what happened. And then with the creek scene, like I said, if you say, okay, if your planning is maybe the kid is somewhere around and you're trying to divert them away from him being there. John Barenthal knows that accident happened 8 hours ago. So there's no way the kid is just still somewhere in the ballpark that you're like, well, let me have them kill me so that he at least knows he's there. Like, they be in Wisconsin right now, and you're sitting here just having this conversation with these. Like,
yeah, I don't know, man. I think there's literally is paper thin the plot of this movie, but I think if you turn your brain off a little bit, they're fighting in the fire, they're hitting each other with axes, they're shooting at each other.
She was bludgeoning the shit out of that dude with that axe.
There's some
I was
great,
yelling in my house.
Yeah, there's some great car crashes and things like that. The movie looks fine, looks really good. If you would have probably seen this in theaters, I think the fire would have looked a little bit better. On my TV, the fire kind of looked like they did it during COVID or something like that, where they were just rendering on like a MacBook Pro. But the problem that I had is making it based on like this fire, and like all of the promo and everything that you use is based around the fire. They're not in that fire until the last 15 minutes of the movie. If that, which is like, then what's the point? You know, if it's like you are literally, maybe it's because forest fires literally consume everything within matters of like minutes if you're around it. So it would just kill them. And that's
you don't have to be realistic. Let the fire be there.
Like chasing them the entire time. Yeah.
Yes. You don't have to be realistic.
So I don't know. This was a hat on a hat. It was multiple movies, like Only the Brave, which is a really good movie. If you haven't seen it, and nobody saw it, but it's about smoke jumpers and fighting fires and everything, and it's just a chase movie. It's a heist movie kind of all at once, and it's just none of those things. It does none of those things well.
None
really.
of them.
And it's baffling to me.
They just stopped doing any of those things midway through,
right?
And
it's baffling to me that Taylor Sheridan now, he did touch up on the bad. I really did not like this movie. I didn't think it was very good. The bad Michael B. Jordan, Tom Clancy film Without Remorse that just came out.
I haven't seen it yet.
Yeah, he did touch up. He did touch up on that screenplay, but his other screenplays are all like A+ movies. But it's because I think he sat down and written them on his own. In this, it's like he probably has a bunch of other input. This is a second movie he's directed, but also you got to think, and this is just my Taylor Sheridan rant, because I really like him as a filmmaker, is that he's also doing the whole Yellowstone thing. He has a huge deal with like Paramount and Paramount Plus to like make several TV shows and stuff like that. He's still he's probably stretched paper thin, just like this script. And just like, all right, everybody else. And when you have all those cooks in the kitchen, then it doesn't allow your one singular talent to be focused on one thing. Because those first 3 movies that he made, which, I mean, the first one's Sicario is directed by Denis Villeneuve. So like, it's obviously it's going to be great on its own. Yeah. So, but Sicario, Hell or High Water, which I think is maybe the best Western of the past. I think it's up there with No Country for Old Men is one of the best Westerns in the past 25 years. And then Wind River, which is a good movie on its own, which is also a Taylor Sheridan directed project, are all A+ movies. But since then, it's like, and then to say he has the most popular TV show on the planet, scripted TV show, which is Yellowstone, which is very Republican. And but
wait, Yellowstone is popular?
Oh yeah.
I had no idea.
No, Middle America's watching. It's that and NCIS.
Somebody's gotta be, I guess.
You want to know Middle America's watching?
Yeah. So like, who's watching this? Kansas. So yeah, I mean, let's pick some holes in this movie. I took some notes and anything y'all want to talk about really quickly.
Right off the top, though.
Go ahead.
This movie is called Those Who Wish Me Dead, but the main character, nobody's wishing you dead. Like nobody cares about you.
The fire and the lightning,
the
were
lightning
the only
is
things that wished her dead.
Yeah, God's like, fuck you.
They literally didn't want to kill her. The humans were like, we don't give a fuck about you. Just let us have the kid, please.
Yeah, we just want to kill this kid. We don't know who the fuck you are, lady.
My biggest problem with the movie, besides that we never figure out, and I guess you don't have to with some of these action movies where it's like, what did he do? Doesn't matter. Shut up. Audit. Like you know what I mean? Like, but who is he auditing? Who's he taking down? He says like senators and give us a little bit more backstory there. But on top of all that, he gives his kid, just unathletic teenager who can't run away from Angelina Jolie, a piece of paper and is like, here, carry this to the news. And then this kid has to go do a press conference in front of the world's media. And then, but he never it never shows him reading that. It never shows him memorizing any of it. And then they jump in a river. That paper is gone.
It's gone.
Yeah, the paper's
gone.
All that evidence. He doesn't know what happened, and now this
doesn't have the evidence. Doesn't have the written documents. Nothing.
Also, it's
so
like, bro,
that's my biggest plot hole here.
Can you not tweet? Can you not send an email?
Right.
You have other ways to get this news out. Why are you trusting your kid to
tweet
do
that shit right now at CNN, at Soledad O'Brien? Hey guys,
I got a story for you. But yeah, like that exposition about what he actually did is legit like 5 minutes of dialogue. They shoehorned at least 20 different things in this movie that take up 5 minutes. That could have been the explanation for what was in there.
Cut the Tyler Perry budget and let's have a little bit more explanation about what the dad did. Boom.
Cut him trying to pet a horse and give me a little bit more.
Yes, there you go.
What was that? Why did they have the sequence of petting? Why did they have that?
Like I thought they were they'd caught up to them and the horse was gonna die. Like I had in my head.
Yes, I thought the horse was gonna get shot in the head, and that's
absolutely
where the scene's going.
100%.
And then it was just like, oh, that's not where the scene's going at all.
Yeah, just move on to the next scene.
I thought he was gonna like ride a horse to escape or something like that because he just has some connection to horses or something.
That shit never came back.
It just never mattered.
Other than the pregnant wife riding it at the end. Like there was never at any point an explanation for why horses are apparently important in this world and why we should pay attention to them.
It's probably something to do with like, oh, this is a city kid, but like a city kid from like Jacksonville, Florida.
Yeah.
Like you got snakes in your toilet.
Also, we keep talking about like cutting things out of the movie. Movie was like an hour and a half. You could have made it longer. Like,
just make it a little longer if you needed to.
The Mitchells versus the Machines was 20 minutes longer than this movie.
It felt 40 minutes longer than this.
It did feel way longer, even though it's a good movie.
But that's because Mitchell and the Machines has 7 endings. Every time they're wrapping up the film, something happens, and then we have another 5 minutes of this film.
Well, all I'm saying is an animated movie is longer than this movie.
This film just ends. It literally just ends. You're just like, wait, what? That's the end of the movie? Like, not that I wanted the movie to go on longer, but I literally was just like, that can't be the end of the movie. I must have missed something.
And what is the explanation that you're telling these news crews that you're like, hey, we've got to have all this press conference? Because literally, it's not just like one news thing. It's like an army of news people have showed up to this random location. I guess they're going to cover the forest fire. That'll get them out there.
I mean, it's a slow day in North Dakota news. Let me tell you.
Also true.
They got this is it. CNN's going to be taking all their video and crediting their video. Wolf Blitzer is going to be shouting out local reporters. Like it is game time for these people.
I feel like we wasted our. I want to see another film in which John Bernthal plays the character that he always plays when he's great, and I want to see him trading bars with Littlefinger, playing Littlefinger, who's always great. I feel like those 2 performances were wasted because I enjoyed seeing those 2 dudes on screen. Like I just had fun watching them, although they had nothing to do. I just really enjoyed them.
John Bernthal is always sort of charismatic, but it's really funny in this movie, and he also is in Wind River. He is in this thing in Taylor Sheridan movies where he puts him in there just to get killed. It's a really weird thing, but it's Yeah, and I feel like he's a really underrated actor. I mean, he's been in a bunch of good projects, obviously, but he plays sort of this guy's guy, you know what I mean? But he doesn't get to do guy's thing. He doesn't get to fight or do anything in this. He just dies. He just dies of like gunshot wounds and smoke inhalation.
Oh, and he has a wife. So, I mean, he has a black wife. That's pretty cool. That's all he gets to do in this movie.
The pregnant woman got to do
She
more
was cooking people. She was
literally cooking Littlefinger. That shit was amazing.
The bear spray, that shit sucked. That looked like that hurt. No,
she dropped a bar on him as soon as she set his face on fire. Like, you're aiming the wrong way. No, I'm not.
Boom.
Boom.
When Littlefinger says, hey, I don't mean to interrupt here, but I don't know how far I'm going to be. Like, I'm losing it here. I laughed so hard because it's just like, we can see that he's slowly slowing down. Yeah. Every time he talks, it takes him a little bit longer to get the words out. And it's just like, bro, he's dying back there. Like, you're trying to get the mission done. Littlefinger is not long for this world. He is dying, bro.
It was weird. Yeah, he was just like, oh, this sucks.
I hate this place. Like, he was having a real crisis, and his brother was just like, gotta go on with the mission. And Littlefinger's like, I just need you to take a second to acknowledge the fact that I'm literally dying. Thank you so much.
Half of my face just got burned off.
Yo, dog, we got any ointment in that bag?
I need some Neosporin.
I'm bleeding out over here, man.
I don't give a fuck what Tyler Perry said. My face is on fire.
My face is on fire.
Man, and then it's just like, that story wraps up kind of weird too, because obviously the gunfight with the woman is very kind of compelling. I thought it was really interesting.
The reload scene was amazing.
Yeah, but
that shit was fire.
Why are you? I guess he's like burnt to crisp and like he's tired and whatever. But like, why are you with an automatic weapon and more ammunition charging out of cover to a woman with a sniper rifle? Like that's like Tej level.
Oh, like, I knew you were gonna say this. I knew you were gonna say this.
That is like Tej level. Gotta feel me in the gulag sort of
Gotta
shit.
feel me in the gulag.
And then he just and then just what the fuck? And then he just gets domed. And it's funny because he's sitting there and he's like, I hate this place. And it's like, you've been here for 5 hours.
Worst work trip ever.
Yeah, like you haven't even seen their visitor center. Like, you know, I don't know. I thought that was actually a very compelling thing. But the thing that it left was that, let the other assassin, I'm going to get his name here. I don't know why Nicholas Hoult. He didn't really have a lot of lines either.
No,
he's a pretty good actor, I feel like, as well. But he also awful haircut, terrible.
They could have given some of those Tyler Perry lines to him, and like, really, we didn't need Tyler Perry in this film.
We didn't need Tyler Perry at all. What's Tyler Perry here?
We'll get to Tyler Perry in a second.
Okay,
but it leaves Nicholas Hoult as like the final boss fight.
Final boss,
yeah, and it's just, he hadn't done anything really the entire film besides shoot people. Littlefinger's just like the one been menacing kind of the entire time.
Yeah,
and the other guy is kind of, I don't know. It just is a weird thing to like leave him as the guy that's like gonna end it all for a kid and a woman. You know, he's just not. Maybe there's supposed to be this creepy guy. I don't know. What do y'all think about that? Because it was just so weird to
I thought it was weird that Littlefinger died first. I thought it was weird that Littlefinger died first.
Yeah, they could have traded it off. They could have traded it off where just the brother. Yeah, exactly. Like they finish it up. He burns to a crisp, and then switch it back to Littlefinger getting shot. Like that's really all they could have done. It would have made it a little bit better. But I feel like in either instance, there was this weird thing where they, you know, as it is in the entire movie, where there's just not enough explanation for everything that's going on. So it's like, you're going to leave me here? Yeah, let the fire burn you, and then just walk away and let this guy get completely melted.
Damn, just shoot me.
Yeah.
That's what he asked for. I mean,
just shoot. Anyway, all right. Biggest thing in the entire movie. We got to talk about it because we talked about it a couple of times. Tyler Perry just shows up out of nowhere at a truck stop in North Dakota.
And he's the big boss. I was like, I don't understand what's happening.
He's like above Littlefinger, but he's not even the big boss. So why are we talking
the
to him?
regional manager? Tyler
Yeah, he's the supervisor that the Karen
assistant
talks
to the regional
to,
manager.
but you're still not getting to the top of the company, lady.
I just why?
So it's startling because you're
There's
sitting
only-
there and you're like, and Tyler Perry's like he's Gone Girl. He's actually decent actor when he wants to be, and instead of just doing Medea or whatever he's doing, but it's so weird that they just didn't that it was a recognizable face Tyler Perry in a 3-minute cameo role.
There's only one.
Like it wasn't
explanation
funny.
for this.
It wasn't anyway. What is it?
The only explanation for this, and this is calling your shot, is if Tyler Perry is supposed to represent the organization in the sequel. Now, this sequel will not get made. Hope to God that there's no sequel to this film because we don't need it. But if you want to leave it out or like a little hallway to where you can go to the sequel, that's why Tyler Perry's there. Tyler Perry's the big bad for the second version of this film. But the film actually stinks, so nobody's going to want a sequel. But if they did like it, Tyler Perry could be the big bad for the next film.
Yep.
It felt like they left it on a cliffhanger enough to where they wanted to make a sequel or something like a classic 90s action film. But it's also like, and they made her vulnerable and stuff like that, but she's just a firefighter. She's not a cop. She doesn't have any combat training. She gets her ass whooped at the end of this movie. And it's not like she's some John Wick character where it's like she's OP where she can go and fight a bunch of people if they come chasing them again. She just got her ass. She would be murdered.
It was just basically a regular white woman taking wild punches from this dude. And it was like, oh, this is this film? Like, this dude was punching the shit out of Angelina Jolie.
She got cooked, dog.
Like,
She's a regular ass lady who like
punching
is
her like
around
a grown
fire,
ass man.
and she likes beer, I guess, and can crack joke with the guys. But like beyond that, she doesn't fight. She ain't got hands. Like she.
I love that, and Mark, just want to get your thought on this too because
sure.
it's funny because they present Angelina Jolie, and she's a great actress. Don't get me wrong; she's been in a ton of things, obviously, as being the main character. But they present her as this every woman, every man character. But then you have to just use that vehicle through fucking Angelina Jolie.
She's Angelina Jolie. She can't be the every woman. She just can't.
I mean, it's a weird casting choice if we're being honest.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it's one of those things where you got to have but the problem is this movie has to sell somehow. Like the Tyler Perry thing, like the Angelina Jolie thing, like this movie has to sell because of the people that you have involved with it. Because as we've said constantly, there's nothing to this movie. So everyone's just out here half-assing it. And somebody's just got to be the every woman. It's got to be Angelina Jolie. But at no point in my adult life have I ever felt like Angelina Jolie could do anything that a common person would do.
Mm-hmm. Or look like a common person.
Yeah.
She's just hot out there in like the Montana woods. Like, give me a break. Like,
yeah, like I'm not watching her like, oh yeah, she's a hardened firefighter who's been through it all and seen everything and watched her friends and kids die. Like, no, it's Angelina Jolie. Like, what the fuck are we talking about? No,
it's like trying to make Brad Pitt the everyman. You're just like, come on.
Yeah,
that didn't work for me. But like we said, I think she does a perfectly fine job with what she has to work with. She didn't have shit to work with.
Because she's a good actress. Like it doesn't take away that she's Angelina Jolie and that comes with the territory. But it's also just like it's kind of a weird. It's like it is like in the 90s when they would put Sylvester Stallone or Arnold Schwarzenegger is like, what do you do for a living? I'm a car salesman. And you're just like,
I'm a kindergarten teacher.
Yeah.
Kindergarten teacher with biceps that big. Those don't exist, my friend. Sorry.
Yeah.
They made it work.
It's just a weird sort of casting where it doesn't make a whole lot of sense when you have even the littlest of context or knowledge of who the star actually is.
I just want to know, like, how'd they get her to do it? They're just
money.
Like, hey,
money, man.
Do you want to fall out of a tower and get like punched in the face by Nick Holt and run away from Littlefinger? Like, I know you're Angelina Jolie. You'll literally never need money ever again in life. Like,
I mean, we say she's not OP, but in this movie, she falls at least 2 floors from that tower.
And she survived a lightning strike.
She gets struck by lightning, and she gets punched over and over again with no remorse. And all she has is like 2 black eyes, and that's it. Like some mild facial swelling, but that's it. That's all she
Sleeps
has.
through a forest fire in a river somehow.
Again, she
Maybe
just
we gotta put
puts
some respect on her name. Maybe she's maybe she's like invincible. She doesn't
got it
win the
wrong,
fights, but she won't die
she does parachute out of the back of a moving truck too.
That was the
for
other
no
thing.
reason, just because she's so hurt.
That looked
And wants
fun
to
as
kill
hell,
herself.
though.
That looks fucking fun.
amazing.
I mean, it looks
Dude,
fun
you
that
would
you run
smack
into
the
the 5
fuck of a
trees.
tree,
That
yeah.
exactly.
Oh,
Or the
I'm living my
impending
best
18-wheeler that was coming the other way. Whichever. All these are options.
living my best life. Yeah, man. I thought it was kind of, but the actual note that I did take was, what the fuck is Tyler Perry doing here?
Yeah, like just it
The
was
fact
so,
that he doesn't come back, I was like, okay, he's gone, but he's gonna come back, and especially after Littlefinger died, and then after the other brother died, I was like, oh, Tyler Perry's gonna come back, and he never came back. He was nowhere to be found.
so many things in this movie would be so much better if they just like mentioned them again or like they mattered at all, but they just don't. Tyler Perry doesn't matter. Like
The Tyler Perry thing the sequel thing that TJ mentioned has to be what it was building to, because I think there has to be a person, like a B or C level person, that you can bring into the movie that doesn't completely like knock you off like Tyler Perry does.
Yeah.
And I just feel like like TJ said, there has to be a sequel in the work. There had to have been a setup to a sequel, because that's the only way that Tyler Perry makes any sense in this movie, is that he was going to be a leader of whatever the hell you're going to do going into the sequel. But then it's like, well, what is the sequel to this movie if that was the plan?
Please don't make a sequel to this.
Yeah, where are we going with this? Like, they clearly have every bit of information out now. So
it's just Angelina Jolie and the kid just fucking nomad landing through like
yeah,
this forest.
Bigger forests, bigger fires.
They said the same thing about Die Hard, and they made 8 of those films.
That's accurate.
This ain't no Die Hard.
Those Who Wish Me Dead to the streets.
Those Who Wish Me Dead to the deadening. I do like how they they snipe an accountant, but he has the wherewithal to almost run over Littlefinger and then drive away kind of down a hill.
He was very, very present in that moment to make those decisions. And I was like, I don't know, guys. This dude's an accountant. I don't know. That looked like some superhero shit that he was doing. How did he like set it up perfectly? Like, he did it perfectly, and everything worked out perfectly so that they wouldn't know that the kid was gone until hours later.
Yeah, and they didn't even look. They just capped that poor woman in the head.
Yeah, they just fucking dome that random shit. Wrong place,
everything's
wrong
fine.
time.
Pa!
Just being a good Samaritan, man. That's why we don't stop on the roads today. You can get shot. That's exactly what happens.
By assassins.
Yeah,
by
shout
assassins.
out to the 2 random women who just one gets blown up and one gets domed on the side of the road just because it just happened to be.
Yeah,
in
your
the wrong
IMDb
place.
is random woman gets shot in the head. That's your screen credit.
That's one of those things in these movies, and I know that you have to have a little bit of this. You can't really avoid it, but the way that they're quickly killing side characters, how fast they kill John Bernthal's partner, how fast they kill this random lady on the highway, and then they get guns on the pregnant wife, they get guns on John Bernthal's character, they get gun on Angelina Jolie, and they hesitate in all these situations because those are playable characters. But when the non-playable characters are around, Littlefinger shoots them immediately. They're gone, bro. Immediately. Yep.
This man don't miss when it's like just a random ass lady.
Facts. But he can't hit Angelina Jolie in the woods at all.
A little bit of pressure on. He fucking goes 0 for 3 against a pregnant lady.
Got thrown a slider. He couldn't hit it low and away. Let's see. You weren't supposed to have off speed. They didn't tell me about that.
I know you like run a survival school, but damn, I didn't think you would like light me on fire. Shit.
Just time out. Time out. Bear spray. It really is. And I put, that was what I wrote for that Dex, by the way, was damn, she cooked those dudes.
Yeah.
Literally.
Fuck them up.
They're just tossing a 6-month pregnant lady like over tables and shit in this movie, like not even giving a fuck.
They like grab a fire poker. They're like about to put that shit to her. I was like, yo, relax. Relax.
The entire thing in this movie, though, is it really is a hat on a hat, is what I was saying earlier. It's a joke is like a hat on a hat when you do multiple jokes and stuff like that. But it is with this, it is really like, why do we need both of these things? You know what I mean? And it's like, we give them something else. We'll give the cops something else to worry about. He sets the fire. Like, John Bernthal is the cops. Like, you have the cop.
Literally the cops.
You like just domed the sheriff like a couple minutes ago.
So setting the fire, you just wanted to set something on fire.
Like, nobody knows you're out here, dog.
Well, that was the other plot twist is that, or the whole that they go into the house and they're looking through everything, and number 2 just sees this random ass photo. It's like, yep, forest. That's where they're going. It's like they could have been in Maui. They could have gone literally anywhere. It's like, oh look.
Oh no, they're in the forest.
He has a cop friend. That's exactly where he's going.
My guy made some terrible decision. They'll never find us here to our only family connections that we still have left. Like, you pulled out $10,000. You got enough for an international flight.
You can go anywhere.
You can literally go anywhere for $10,000.
Fuck, my passport's expired. Like, what? Why? What? Go to Germany. You could go to Tahiti. Like, where? You can literally go anywhere for enough time. Also, to like lay low.
You don't have to take your kid with you. They're not looking for the kid. You just send the kid anywhere else. You could have left the kid in school and it would have been fine.
Yeah, they're not coming to that kid's school like they were firemen and blowing up a school.
Yeah.
This is a very different movie if they go blow up a school after they blow up that lady's house. It's a very different movie.
Maybe a little better. Maybe. I don't know.
I'm into it. I didn't see that rewrite.
Good Lord.
Then she's got to put out the fire at the school, but then there are kids on fire, which trigger her PTSD. And it's like
she crumbles under pressure.
I'm in.
I can't believe how many times we watched those kids burn up. It was like 3 times.
Did they have to show it that many times? They literally showed it like 4 times.
And it ultimately like meant nothing. Like, I don't. Why did we do that?
Because she never gets choked up about it, like in the moment, like she did earlier in the movie. But it was like feet to flames. Literally, she's just completely rambling. She's just running through like it's nothing anymore.
At one point, they use it like just as a way to pass the time. It's like, okay, we see this vision, and now she wakes up out of her sleep because it's the next day.
Yep.
Like, okay, thanks.
So the whole lightning scene, which made no sense because again they had to turn around and go back where they came from, is really stupid because she gets struck by lightning. He goes, "Oh my God, you got struck by lightning," and then he starts to cry because his dad died, and I'm like, "There's still a lightning storm going on."
Them trying to like out-sad each other with their life stories was hella entertaining.
I can't compete with you.
Yeah, like, you got me. Both your parents are dead. You just saw it, like your only like companion in the world just gets struck by lightning. Like, you saw your dad get shot in the face. Yeah, you got me, kid. Your life sucks.
You got me beat, kid.
There was one thing that I was thinking, the movie's kind of about smoke jumpers, yet we never see anyone fighting this fire. There's no helicopters dropping any water. There's no people jumping, cutting down trees, because they fight these things 24/7. We never see anybody fighting any fire.
Well, there was a scene when they're in the tower and John Bernthal is about to die, and it's him and his pregnant wife, and the camera screws up. And I thought that was when, like, one of those planes are going to come by and have the extinguisher to be able to take out some of the fire or anything. It's just, no, we just wake up. John Bernthal's dead. Somehow the fire hasn't completely burned down this shed in the middle of the forest. And we go on. We move on to the next sequence.
Yeah, his wife is just sitting there, like, just chilling with her dead husband. Just
holding his hand like Rose in the Titanic.
Just posted up.
Oh man.
This movie could have been really, really good if they had
Yeah.
just picked literally any one thing to stick with. Like even if they just made like an Angelina Jolie PTSD movie where she's like fighting that shit in the forest, like that could have been really good because Angelina Jolie was really entertaining in this movie, and then they just tried to do too much.
I could use another 30 to 40 minutes of her just having PTSD, living her life recklessly, and hanging out with the firefighter people, like the smoke jumpers. I could use another 30 to 45 minutes of it. Like that was compelling. I was into that. And then when the movie started happening and the plot with the dad started happening, I was like, nah, I don't know about this. And then when I realized that we were gonna have to fight a fire and a storm and machine guns at the same time, I said, y'all threw too much into the pot. You messed it up. You messed up the flow.
Yeah, a couple more things that I wrote down is like, damn, he really beat the fuck out of her at the end of that movie, and we talked about that.
Cooking her, man. I was like, God damn, bro, like chill out.
We may have lost Dex.
Dex is
It's frozen.
Hold on one
second.
second.
There he goes. But yeah, man,
really cooking her, man.
Absolutely punching her to death, man.
Yeah, it's like he had something against her or something.
Oh man, God, like all
bro,
the
that's
money.
Angelina Jolie. Do you not know that's Angelina Jolie? You could not be punching her like that, bro. What are you doing?
She's got a future. She's got kids to feed.
Many
kids.
Yeah. Also, like, dude has like a full clip in a Glock, and he's sitting there and like can't find her way around the tree and like unload on it. Like what? Like
that was so weird.
Start shooting.
Yeah,
just start shooting.
I thought that she was gonna like call the kid out. So then, like, I knew the kid had run away, but was not gonna show up in the end to actually help her. But I thought that she was gonna be like, "Hey, kid, kind of run," and then he would have been diverted from that, and then she could lower the boom on the axe. But then when she has the axe, she's just sitting there missing like every other swing at him, and he's just like dodging and weaving like it's nothing.
Yeah, you're like, what? Huh?
Yeah, exactly.
But then again, he gets caught once with that thing, and he's like, kind of like, shit, that hurt.
Yeah.
Which is pretty accurate.
That hurt really bad.
He's like,
which was great acting in that scene. When he gets hit for the first time, you can really tell, like, oh shit, that really fucking hurts.
Yeah. So it's that was, I mean, but it and then just to leave him to burn up is just kind of a kind of really, really stupid. But also he doesn't shoot the kid, and maybe did he drop his gun or whatever? He's gonna like slice his throat because he has a heart of gold now all of a sudden after he just punched this woman to death.
Yeah, because that was the thing. Like, he dropped the gun, she dropped the axe. Somehow she got the axe back, but not the gun, and was able to get him when he went after the kid.
Yeah.
So I don't know. There are a lot of holes.
Exactly. And the best line in the movie that I did think, though, when they finally get out of the fire or whatever, running from the fire was actually kind of thrilling, actually, and but then again, it's just them laying in a river, so it's not like they ran from the fire for very long.
Yeah,
but I thought one of the more compelling, or not compelling, funny lines was actually a little bit of levity in the film when she's like, "Didn't scare me. The fire didn't scare me," and he was like, "Scared the shit out of me." I thought that was actually pretty funny because I would have been like, "Yeah, that was fucking terrifying." There was zero reason for them to actually kill Barenthal in this movie, though.
They really didn't have to.
There was no reason at all.
It's not like he died like a good, what I mean? I guess he died with his wife, but it's not like he died like a cinematic death.
Yeah, or defending them from them while they're getting shot.
Yeah, exactly.
They just see his lips move, like, oh, he's talking to somebody, shoot him.
He just literally just died for nothing.
Yeah. So there was no reason, like, you could have medevaced him out of there, like, and left it
ambiguous.
Thank you. And it just, but yeah, they're just like, nah, he's no reason to call a helicopter,
Yeah.
I don't know.
He's just gonna kill him in all his movies, and I'm fine with that because I want to see John Barenthal and everything. So
yeah, I mean, I like John Barenthal and everything. Any other thoughts on this movie?
Please don't.
No, that's really it, man. Please. There's definitely not going to be a sequel. It's not worth it at all. And I mean, there's not only is there not much left to tell. I don't know where where any of it makes sense at this point. The first one doesn't make sense. So
I
how's
want
the
to
sequel going to make
see.
sense?
I want to see if there's any more books in this series.
What are we drafting today?
Female action stars.
Oh, that's right. That's right. Marcus, you gotta start thinking of your.
Yeah, no, I learned about that later after the fact.
I should have told you that.
Thank you. I appreciate that now.
That's my bad.
It's not that hard. Come on, we've done harder drafts. Or you
If we can't get Dex back, then there may actually be a good draft going on.
Let's see. Is there? Yeah, he was roasting him for his sports movie draft the other day.
Dex had the worst draft in the history of this podcast.
Absolutely terrible. Absolutely terrible.
He should be ashamed of his performance. And luckily, he's got the lifelong Ernie Grunfeld GM spot, so he can keep on drafting. But man, he should have been fired from the GM position after.
Yeah, I told him about the Tanya pick. I said, so you had Michael Jordan sitting on the board, and you Sam Booed it. You overthought it. You just overthought it. You picked the player, you put him in the system, and you let it ride. But instead, here you are with Sam Bowie.
Oh man, yeah, I don't think there's
a better performance from Dex today. But if his internet doesn't work and he can't come back, we're just gonna pick for him, and I'm gonna pick the worst women action stars that I can think of for him.
Yeah, I don't think there is a. I'm gonna pause our recording to maybe get him back on really quickly. I'm gonna pause that, but we're still live on. Anything y'all watching recently? Y'all want to talk about while we're on this stream?
I think I'm gonna end up watching the Michael B. Jordan movie, even though it's bad.
So I watched it. It's okay. Like it's about the same line of thinking that this movie is, where it's like it's just Michael B. Jordan just on a mission, randomly killing any and everyone, specifically Russians. But a lot of it doesn't add up in the sequence of how like things are going, and then it just sort of ends again. And it's like, well, I mean, that was Michael B. Jordan pissed off for a movie. So
it was it felt like a Call of Duty movie.
Yeah, which Tom Clancy, but like,
but even more so than like a Jack Ryan movie or whatever.
Oh, sure, yeah, exactly. But like the sequence where he's like in the jail cell, that's top notch.
Yeah, that was actually really cool.
Yeah, when he's doing the thing at the airport terminal, that's also great. Like they're just these interesting moments that are in the movie that all in all you're just like meh, but those things happen.
Does he do a good job in the movie?
Yeah, he does a good job. I don't think there's much for him to do.
As best as he can.
Exactly. Yeah. Lauren London is his wife, and she's pregnant, so she is she's taken out whenever the mission starts and backfires. And then so like there's a lot of just like reminiscing about her and kind of gladiating it, where it's like I'm still thinking about my family, but there's not really a tie-in anymore. That's kind of how it is.
I would be
she's in the movie for like 5 minutes.
Well.
Yeah,
I would be thinking about her every day of my life if I ever had 5 minutes with that woman. I actually met her once. She's even more gorgeous in person.
I think it was a fine movie, but they definitely tried to like set up like Rainbow Six shit and like all that stuff. So Dex, you good?
Yeah, should be good. Hopefully my power doesn't do that again.
I hope you're ready for this draft.
Let's get a draft order. Hold on. And then I'll resume our recording.
Marcus is going to be first. You better not steal my number one pick. I want to be.
All right.
Random.org.
Man, I got a few of them.
I got Marcus Royden Teej Dex.
Ooh, okay. Let's all right, we have Dex back. We are going to do best female action stars draft. Hopefully Dex has a good draft this time, which we were talking about. But that will be right after this ad break from Apollo Houston. And now let's draft. Marcus, go ahead.
All right. So I got a few people on the board here. It's draft night. First overall selection. I will take ScarJo. ScarJo's my overall number one.
Okay. Yeah, I respect it.
Wait, are we drafting the actresses or the characters?
It comes with both.
So he's drafting all ScarJo performances.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh shit, this makes this draft harder. But I'm gonna
Duh.
play this draft. I'm gonna play this draft. Don't worry. He didn't steal my person. I'm fine.
Okay.
Okay, wait.
So-
We should give the viewers what are some examples of ScarJo being in action. Obviously, she's
dropped.
in the MCU. So
Yeah, so clearly Natalia Romanoff is her
Oh,
number
right,
one
right.
character
I said,
in the Marvel universe, but she's also whitewashed the character in Ghost in the Shell, which was clearly supposed to go to an Asian actress, but didn't.
supposed to be an Asian.
And what else was she? She was in the what was that
Lucy.
movie where Lucy. Thank you.
Lucy.
That's the one.
That's right.
That's the one. And overall, I mean, ScarJo, number one pick. I'm happy with where we landed.
I mean, this is completely kind of buoyed by like a great senior season performance when in the Avengers.
This is what's happening. She went to she played in the Cotton Bowl, and then she had a great Senior Bowl, and she went number 1 overall.
Yeah,
but we're
facts.
ignoring when she was a sophomore, and she threw 19 interceptions and 13 touchdowns in her sophomore season. So it's fine. It's fine.
Look. We all sat here and we thought that Josh Allen to the Bills was going to be terrible, and now look, possible MVP candidate. Y'all are looking at one season, and y'all aren't forecasting. That's why this list is going to be terrible for the rest of y'all. And I'm going to be sitting there laughing to the Super Bowl with ScarJo as my number 1 overall pick.
First of all, Buffalo is never destined to win a Super Bowl. That is just facts.
I think ScarJo's got some bust potential, but that's not a pun about her.
Yeah, she does. What? Sorry.
She's got some bust potential.
I mean, yeah, I would agree that. Yes.
Okay, who's next? Roy.
Yeah, I am gonna go with easy pick for me, Charlize Theron.
She would have been on the list as well. So
that's where I was going with.
My 6'5" power forward queen.
Yeah.
What are the films which has led you to this decision? What were her best games?
I mean, Mad Max, obviously, recently. People shit on Hancock, but I feel like obviously that's good in that. I mean, if you want to count monsters, she's killing people and she's killing people in that.
She's
Fucks
killing
the work.
people.
Well, I mean, Hancock was great until we found out that she was also a superhero, and that's when the movie.
Once the twist happened, that's when the movie tanked. But before
apparently,
the movie, before the twist, the movie's good, man.
Yeah, it really is.
Yeah, it's like they ran out of money. It's like just make them both superheroes. Atomic Blonde is like female John Wick. Also, by the way,
great film. They're making another one, aren't they?
Yeah. It has some great. I think it's going to go to Netflix too.
Can't wait.
And she's recently been the villain in the Fast and Furious movies. Yeah,
that's right. That's right.
And she's also in that Netflix movie where they have superpowers.
Oh yes, that was very
actually. The Old Guard. The Old Guard.
Yeah,
it's good. It's
really actually really enjoyed that movie, and she was really good as an action star in that movie as well. So yeah, Charlize Theron.
She was an All-American all 4 years in college, by the way, Marcus. If you want to,
I'm going with the defensive end. Mario.
She left a year early. She's leaving after her junior year. Marcus drafted a 27-year-old senior.
Yeah, I'm going with Mario Williams in the draft, where it's like you should have taken Reggie Bush. No, we know
we could have taken Vince Young.
All right.
So this is a tough one for me because I have 2 great picks. One of them has been an action she-wrote in a million films that are great, but one of them has been iconic in one really incredible film. And I think I'm taking the Marcus route, and I'm going to go with a great senior season. I'm picking Linda Hamilton from Terminator 2. That is the greatest. I love her so much. She's such a badass in that film. That is the greatest women's action performance of all time.
I was waiting for that in the turn. Let me go ahead and take it off my list.
I love Linda Hamilton. That is a queen. Terminator 2 is an amazing film. Everybody should watch it. Dex probably hasn't seen it, but it's great.
I definitely have seen it. It is fire. Yeah.
She actually wasn't. Also, you talk about workout goals. Like I want her shoulders in that movie.
Oh my god, her arms are
just like
crazy in that movie. She's shitting on Arnold in that movie. Her arms are like nicer than Arnold's.
The most recent Terminator. I know they've been on like a stinker run for a few films, but the most recent Terminator, where they just completely rebooted the entire thing, and she was in it. She was actually very good, like compelling. And Dark Fate.
I've heard that movie is good, but I've been in the movie theater for
We've all been burned. We've all been burned.
And I'm just like,
that one is a good movie.
It's dumb, but it's like a good dumb action film.
Yeah, like it's a good. If there was going to be 3 movies of the Terminator franchise, that one needs to be one of them that you see.
Yeah, exactly. You see 1, 2, and then Dark Fate.
Exactly.
I'm gonna have to watch it, and I like that it's a reboot because I can forget about those other shitty movies. I watched at least 3 or 4 of those shitty movies they kept putting out, and I said, you know what? I'm just gonna love myself this time. I'm not gonna watch Dark Fate, even though the trailer looked amazing. I was like, I've fallen for the trailers before. I'm not doing it.
Remember in Salvation where Terry Crews was in it for all of 2 seconds?
Yes.
Dead. Now that's a cameo.
I actually kind of like Salvation if we're being trust.
Oh.
Yeah. All right.
Next
2 picks.
And I feel like these are actually 2 pretty solid picks that y'all can't roast me for. Like we have
Okay.
We'll be the judge of that, my friend.
I'm gonna take Sigourney Weaver.
Yes.
That's
Alien
a
franchise.
That's a good choice.
Good choice.
And then I'm gonna take Uma Thurman, mostly for Kill Bill, but
That's
she's
a
also
great
been in
choice.
some other awesome stuff too. So
Also a Senior Bowl pick, if we're being honest.
I mean, hey, like she's got a couple. The Kill Bill movies are phenomenal, but you know she was in Batman and Robin, which adorable, even though it's kind of trash. My Super Ex-Girlfriend, also adorable and kind of trash.
Also trash, exactly.
Yeah, she's been in she had a couple of those 7 and 6 seasons where they made the bowl game. And
that
then,
Kansas State,
yeah,
they beat
and then,
Texas and they lost 7 games.
I mean, she showed out in a couple of Rose Bowls, so I'll give it to you.
and then they had that undefeated season, won the conference, went to the New Year's Six. I'll take it.
She's definitely the most charming woman that's been selected so far because she is so charming and amazing. I love her.
But yeah, Sigourney Weaver, like the fucking Trevor Lawrence of this draft, that somehow fell to the number 4 pick.
Yeah, I messed
such
up.
a badass in those alien movies, man. But my next pick is great potential. I'm going with Michelle Rodriguez.
Damn it.
Most badass woman of all time. She's in the Fast Furious franchise, which is enough to get her drafted. But not only just that, she's also in SWAT, Girl Fight, and Machete, and Avatar. We don't acknowledge Avatar. She's fucking badass. She plays the same. Oh, and she's in Widows, which is a great film.
Yes, she is. Oh, I wouldn't say great, but yes.
I love Widows. I love Widows.
I like Widows.
For all of its flaws, mostly that they hired a guy that pees on himself to play the main character that dies.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you are only interested in the Daniel Kaluuya rap battle in which he kills 2 people.
That's not true, even though that is the best scene. But Brian Tyree Henry is throwing fucking fastballs in that film.
That's true.
And I love that movie.
I'll give you that.
Anyway, Michelle Rodriguez she's not aging. She's going to be killing people in films for at least the next 55 years. She's an instant Hall of Famer. She's going straight to the top. And we might only win 1 Super Bowl with Michelle Rodriguez, but she's going to be a fan favorite, and she's going to retire, and she's going to be beloved. I'm going with Michelle Rodriguez.
Teddy Bruschi of this draft.
Good guy.
Yeah, she was so good in the Fast movies that they killed her, and they were like, "What?" And they brought her back. They brought her back from the dead. Yeah. So yeah, that's a really good pick. She's in there to deliver quippy lines and then kill somebody and get out.
To give an angry look, kill a couple people, go back to the bench, be like, "I've done what I can for the team today."
Who do I go with here? I got to go with Angelina Jolie, if we're being honest.
That's great value at this place too.
Yeah, I mean, the Lower Croft movies aren't the best, but they hold a special place in early 2000s cinema history, where it's just the most early 2000s movies of all time. Mr. and Mrs. Smith is fun. Super fun. Wanted's kind of a good time. Shout out Baylor grads made that movie, but it is, yeah, she's just she has a lane when she wants to follow it, and yeah. So Angelina
also
Jolie.
Salt was another one that was pretty good.
She almost single-handedly made this movie decent. So
which is also true.
So she really is great in action movies. She's great. That's great value at this late in the game.
I've got 2 selections here. Both my players are on the board. My first pick, I'm gonna go with, or my second pick, excuse me. I'll go with Emily Blunt.
Ooh.
Oh, that's a great choice. That's an amazing choice.
If only for Live, Die, Repeat.
Yeah.
After Tomorrow. That is an amazing movie. So.
Wait, isn't she also the one that's in A Quiet Place?
And she's also in Quiet Place.
Yeah.
No, that's a banging pick. She is great.
So what John Krasinski couldn't do, she did. That's all you need to do.
She delivered a baby and
Bring on
killed
the
an
sequel.
She delivered a
Bring
baby.
on the sequel
and
killed
killed
the
an
monsters.
alien.
Exactly.
Yeah.
What a badass.
And so with my next pick here, I am going to go with the Lady Jedi and go Daisy Ridley.
Nah.
Damn it. That was my next pick.
Nope.
I like that pick.
Nope.
I like that
So,
pick.
anchoring the new Star Wars franchise. The third movie did give away her character being terrible now. And it kind of tarnishes a little bit of what we were going with because she should have been a nobody. Not her fault. Not her fault at all. But she is a legacy Jedi. She was given 20 and 10 to Adam Driver when he wanted it. Couldn't do nothing about it. That was 1994 Akeem versus David Robinson. Couldn't do nothing. Dream shakes all over the place.
This
She
feels
really
like a
did cook that man.
This feels like a Damien. This feels like a Damien Lillard pick.
Too. She really cooked that man. It feels
Whenever
like a Damien
you
Lillard pick. I like that.
Whenever you wanted. I need the volume scoring here. Take the load off whenever ScarJo gets in foul trouble. I'm a well-rounded team here, buddy. Y'all sitting here. That's not checkers. Y'all just over here screwing up.
You really did pick the highest grossing like possible team.
True.
This team is looking good, man.
Team box office over here. I gotta take Michelle Yeoh.
Great choice.
Solid.
Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon. Tomorrow Never Dies isn't a great film, but she's a great Bond girl. She's a great. I don't know. She's just great in that movie. She's also been in The Mechanic and some other things as Star Trek and stuff like that. But going overseas for this one, trying to get the Chinese audience.
I got you.
They're gonna put people in the seats.
Untapped market.
I like that.
Untapped market. I got it.
I'm gonna go with Sophia Boutella. She's in The Kingsman, which is the most amazing film of all time. She also was in Star Trek Beyond, and she's in The Mummy, which was awful, but she did kick Tom Cruise's ass. And so I'm gonna take her.
Which very few people can do these days.
True, very true. I'm gonna take her. She's great. She crushes in everything. She's got a great mean face. She's super sexy. I'm taking Sophia Boutella with my third pick.
For my final two picks, I'm gonna try and get these out quick because there's the biggest storm I've ever heard in my life outside right now. I'm gonna say Mila Jovovich from the Resident Evil franchise. And
Ultraviolet.
Definitely like Robert Ory. Like she's just like been hanging around for a long time.
Yeah, I mean,
Also,
I find
Fifth
her,
Element, which she was great in.
I find her super entertaining in those movies. Yeah, and I'm surprised she lasts this long. But yeah, that's my third pick.
Those Resident Evil films should have been good, but they weren't. But they should have been.
But she was good though.
Yeah.
And then my last pick, I'm gonna take Margot Robbie, just based off of Harley Quinn, just because I really like what she did with that role. I don't know. Yeah.
Good call.
Fourth
She has some more potential. You're taking a flyer in the fifth.
Yeah, why not?
Based on potential.
Yeah, wide receiver ran like a fucking 4.40. He had that great like one highlight catch that was number one on SportsCenter, and then he ran a 4.340. So taking him in the fifth round. What do I have to lose?
All right.
I'm happy that the draft fell the way it did because I'm taking the love of my life, Lucy Liu, with my last pick.
So yeah, I was looking at her. I was happy that you got a chance to get
she's that first Charlie's Angels movie is not great, but she's great in it. She's in Man with the Iron Fist. She's also Shanghai Noon, which no one ever remembers.
I didn't remember Shanghai Noon.
And she is the
Charlie's
most
Angels.
gorgeous woman to ever exist. She still isn't aging. I love her. And her performance in Kill Bill 1 is genuinely horrifying. And when she cuts that dude's head off by that scene, I've never had something scare me and arouse me at the same time so much. It is the greatest. I fucking love that shit, but it's so scary, but she's so perfect.
Never forget Tej said, "Oh God, I wish that was me."
I wanted her to cut my head off so bad, man. Oh.
All right, my final pick. I'm drafting for potential here as well. I'm drafting Rebecca Ferguson from the Mission Impossible franchise.
Good call.
She's in the best.
She bodies that role, man.
Yeah, she's in the best Mission Impossible movie, Mission Impossible Fallout. which is crazy that it's like the 8th film in the franchise, and or no, 6th film, 7th film,
6.
7.
7th.
Yeah,
Okay.
it's crazy. This is the 7th film in the franchise, and they've only steadily gotten better. But she's along for the ride, and so I think that really furthers her potential, if you will. I
She's
think
also
we got room to grow.
phenomenal in Doctor Sleep, the sequel to The Shining. If you didn't see,
Right?
She played in the Super Bowl in Mission Impossible 7, and she had 7 catches for 97 yards.
Mm-hmm.
She was
And
basically
caught the
T.O.
winning
came back
touchdown.
from the broken leg.
She was going crazy, and Tom Cruise threw at least 11 touchdowns in that film. That film is so amazing.
I just looked it
I
up. It
cannot
actually
believe
is
that
Mission
they were-
Impossible 6.
Oh,
Oh,
it's
is
6?
it? Oh,
There's
Yeah.
6 movies. Okay.
That shit is amazing. I love that film.
We're gonna have to do an episode
Great
on
choice.
that movie. That movie.
We really do.
Very-
That film
very
is
Have me back for that episode.
for anyone who's like as someone who loves every film in this series except for the second one, which isn't that great.
Yeah.
The films are so good that the fact that they were able to go head and shoulders above the other films like that was just crazy. Like they weren't supposed to be able to do that. That shit is a ride from start to finish. I love it. Keep giving checks to all those actors. Keep giving what's his face
Bing
from Pulp
Rames,
Fiction.
buddy.
Bing Rames. Keep cashing those checks, baby.
Yeah.
Keep trying to kill yourself, Tom Cruise. We love you. Hashtag support Tom Cruise.
Keep yelling at people to make movies because
To
of
wear
COVID.
masks.
I saw that.
We're
I said,
saving
this
the- we're
isn't,
saving
this
the
isn't
world
great
here.
audio, but Mission Impossible 7's coming, and it's going to be worth it. And fuck yes, let's go, Tom Cruise.
Sidebar: I watched the trailer for Top Gun Maverick again, and I cannot wait for that film. Tom Cruise actually flies a jet in that movie, so that's like.
Can I have a Dex moment really fast? I have never seen Top Gun.
I just saw it. I saw it like 2 months ago.
I have
It's-
never seen Top Gun.
Okay, look.
But I'm definitely
I, too,
going
have
to
never
because
seen
I saw
Top
the
Gun.
trailer for. I saw the trailer for Tom. I knew Dex had never seen it. That's why it's the Dex moment. I saw the trailer for the new one. I was like, I gotta watch Top Gun now because I'm fucking watching that film.
Hey,
I
I'm in theaters. I'm going.
Got
In
a
theaters,
couple.
I'll be there.
Got a couple addendums to this. One, very much a whites film. Two,
True.
Very.
it was a military recruitment tool, and they've been very honest about that from the very beginning. They had Navy signups outside the movie theaters in the 80s.
Really?
And Navy recruitment went up by like 800% or something after that movie,
Holy
um,
shit!
which most of the time you're not flying the planes. Those dudes are like elite people that
Yeah.
fly those planes. And then 3, it's also the gayest movie that has ever come out.
Gayer than Brokeback Mountain?
It is so, you know what I'm talking about, Mark. It is
Yeah.
so gay. It may be gayer than Brokeback Mountain.
I mean, Iceman and
Who's his
Maverick,
co-star?
Val Kilmer.
Val Kilmer and
I fucking love Val Kilmer. I gotta watch this.
the dude from ER.
I can't remember
George Clooney?
No,
Goose's name.
and also they call the one black pilot in that film Midnight. So
Oh,
there's
gosh.
Oh god.
Wait, this movie is from the 80s, right?
that
Yeah.
89
Oh.
or something.
That's to be expected from movies from the 80s.
86.
Anthony Edwards.
Wait, this movie came out in 86?
Yeah.
That's my birth year. I gotta
There's a
watch
very
this.
homoerotic volleyball scene that I'm sure people have seen.
Yeah, like it's the scene from the movie.
Oh,
that
I've seen the
everyone knows.
volleyball scene. I've seen
Yeah.
this.
So, yeah. So, but all that to say, if you watch that movie, like if your parents who grew up in the 80s showed you that movie and they were like, here, this is awesome. And you watch it and you watch Tom Cruise like blow up planes. Yeah, it's awesome.
Very much so.
Anyway, final pick, Marcus.
Well, with Mrs. Irrelevant, it slid all the way down here. I'm gonna go with Gal Gadot. She's sitting here on the board. She's the last one in the green room. And
This
while
is a
Wonder
horrible
Woman,
week to pick Gal
and
Gadot.
while Wonder Woman 1984 and all the current stuff is bad, it is bad. It is bad. We're going on potential here. You don't
There's
have
some
to
character red
look.
flags
Look.
in this
Hold.
draft report, bro.
Hold. Time out. We know that Tom Brady is pro MAGA. He's got 6 Super Bowls. Done. Walk off. I'm walking off. See y'all.
Yo, what?
Hat in locker room. Does not care. All the Super Bowls.
Holy shit.
Gal Gadot will not lead you to the promised land.
Are you not entertained? all the rings.
I'm pro Gal Gadot on this podcast. So like I'm like the only one apparently, just because like I think she was able to carry that first Wonder Woman movie.
Yeah.
But also, I mean, recently, but like it's and on top of all the stuff with her personal life and the Imagine video, Wonder Woman 1984 stunk, man.
Oh,
and they really tried to make her
horrible.
They really tried to make her act in that movie, and I kind of
she can't do it. She just can't
down on her.
She's not good.
She's gonna get when she sees some NFL defense, bro. You don't want to be a part of that.
I just need her to be in Wonder Woman and just be a lockdown corner.
She was just outside.
She's
like Bryce Petty in the Baylor system. She was making one read.
That's accurate.
Making
Bryce
one read
Petty
and throwing a bomb to Corey
all these
Coleman.
records, all these touchdowns. They don't amount up to anything in the league. You might be right, but I like the
quarterback's name. Zito. He's
Jacob Zeno. # free Zeno.
Man, yeah, he was a quarterback in the Art Briles system. So like that's Gal Gadot.
One read.
I got the Wonder Woman and I got the Fast and Furious franchise. Both franchises.
I'm not gonna lie, guys. I really like that. The Sigourney Weaver is a value pick at number 4.
It's a dynamite pick. It's a dynamite pick.
All right, guys. That has been a One Take podcast. Marcus, let's not mess up your name. Where can they find your Twitter and stuff so I don't mess it up again?
No problem, man. My Twitter is Marcus J Brent, just the letter J, and then my last name Brent. I'm nothing but sports, fantasy football, anime, movies, games, you name it. I'm a part of it. So.
Oh yeah. All right. You can find us at the One Take Podcast, One Take Pod on Twitter, One Take Pod on Instagram as well. Please go to our Apple and Spotify accounts. Follow us on Spotify, like and subscribe, download, and rate us 5 stars. Leave a review on Apple Podcasts.
We deserve it.
Literally takes 5 seconds. I'm not kidding. If you have an Apple account, you can do it. I promise. And everyone has an iPhone. You're not listening
Except
to us.
for Marcus.
Y'all sitting here using this Apple technology. Y'all can't use half the shit in your house because it has to be connected to some Apple device. I'm universal, baby. I'm the people's champ over here. The people like Samsung and all Android products. Thank you.
Yeah, but you got green text.
Can we do?
Yo, man, nobody gives a shit about these message bubbles.
Marcus does not like Mad Max Fury Road, and we are bringing him back for that episode because that's the greatest movie of all time.
Wait.
I was going to put this at some point. My hot take is that I hate Mad Max Fury Road.
Hold the fucking phone.
How?
Hate it.
What do you?
I literally hate it.
All right. So my main gripe,
like, not that you're ambivalent about it, or like
hate
actively hate it.
He doesn't think it's overrated. He actually hates it. He hated
it. I hated the point where we're going through the entire desert sequence, and you're like, you know what we should do? We should spend this entire hour and a half that we just spent going back the way we came, because that's cool.
He hates it more than I hate Inception.
Where did Charlize Theron's arm go? Do we not get any? Oh, it's cool. We just have to turn our.
We're getting a Fear Out prequel.
This is before we had, but again, we didn't know that 7 years ago when this movie came out. Again, we're in the culture of having to turn our brains off. I should have turned my brain off because I thought too much about that movie.
Yeah.
A lot of it doesn't make sense. Y'all were enjoying the random white dude sniffing whatever it was sniffing.
They had a guitar player who was going crazy. How could you not like
random white guy on guitar just spewing out flames out of his guitar. Cool. Again, y'all can have it. I like good movies.
Stop this.
God damn, dude.
So
we're gonna have to start having guests drop a take like this like at the end of every podcast.
I actually like that idea.
We should end every podcast with our
everyone liked that
hot take movie take.
Hated it. Couldn't do it.
Man, I saw that in theaters and I was blown away. I will say I did take a date to that movie, and I was sitting there like, man, I love this movie. This is great. What? And she was just like, ha ha. Okay, shit.
Every woman I've talked to about that movie is obsessed with it as well. So, like, women do like that
movie. They like the Charlize Theron character, which, again, it's a great character to have.
It's so much better than the original movies, too. If you go back and watch the original movies.
Like, those original movies can't stand up to it.
Yeah. Anyway, holy shit. What a take to end on the pod. Wow. One take pod.
We're ending every pod with this.
With a one take.
With one of these now, yes.
I don't know how we haven't thought about that. Well done by you. Well done.
Thank you.
Dex, what are we doing?
Hashtag support Florence Pugh. Get ready for the MCPU. July 9th. We are here.
Woo!
That clip that they dropped the other day.
Oh my god.
Banger!
Fucking wait.
This shit is gonna be so fucking dope, bro. Like this is gonna be Mission Impossible with two badass women like as the leads. I'm here for it. What more could you want? Are you not?
We're about to be able to draft Florence Pugh as our action heroine. She's about to drop 37 in the playoffs in this film. I cannot fucking wait. I love Florence Pugh. Hashtag support Florence Pugh.
You know what's gonna suck is that we've been like hyping this movie up for literally a year, and it's just gonna
if it's bad, I'm gonna be.
It won't be bad. It won't be bad. But
we'll
it'll
have to do an emergency podcast episode about.
I will cry on this podcast if this movie isn't amazing. I cannot wait for it.
So what is your most recent? Because Marvel is due for a bad movie. True. What is, in your opinion, the last Marvel movie that was not good? Not great, but just okay.
Just bad.
Just okay, not bad.
Just okay. Ant-Man 2 or Guardians.
Guardians 2.
Captain Marvel.
Guardians 2 is in my top 5 MCU movies.
Wow.
Wait, do you like Guardians 2 more than you like Guardians 1?
Really?
How?
I do.
You like Kirk Douglas that much?
Kurt Douglas, no. Kurt Russell.
Kurt
Douglas is 98 years old.
Kurt Russell.
I think Kurt Douglas is dead.
Sorry, rest in peace to Kurt Douglas. I meant Kurt Russell.
Hold on. Kirk Douglas is Pym.
No.
He's Pym.
No. Kurt Douglas is not.
Oh, Kurt Douglas, excuse me.
Yeah, Kirk Douglas is Spartacus. He's been dead.
Yeah.
Actually, not been dead. He died last year at 103. Holy shit. He was
103. Go home, man. What the
He wanted to go home. I don't feel bad anymore. He wanted to go home. He said, all right, y'all, come on, chill out.
Michael Douglas, sorry. Michael Douglas is Pym.
Yeah. Yeah.
I would say I like Captain Marvel. It's not great, but I wouldn't call it just okay. I would say I liked it a little bit, but I would probably go Ant-Man 2.
Yeah, that's mine. Ant-Man 2 is the one. They haven't had a bad one in a while.
Thor 2.
Possible. Thor 2 probably.
Thor 2 is objectively awful. It's not. You can't just give it okay.
8 years, like what?
Yeah,
5, 6
that's
years
a long
ago?
time ago, though.
Man, Thor 2 came out in like 2012.
That's crazy. The run
it's
they've
been a
on.
minute,
and it's going to continue because Florence Pugh would not let us down.
She wouldn't. She don't miss.
She don't miss. She wouldn't do that.
Hey, where can they find all the dopest Houston merch?
Yeah, you know who else doesn't miss? Apollo Media.
Nope.
So go to apollohou.com, get the flyest Houston merch you've ever seen. They got just regular Houston if you want to rep the city, but not the teams. They got the Astros, they got the Texans, they got the Rockets. You know, like support all of our podcasts on the Apollo Network. We've got everything. Go to apollohou.com and read all of our blog posts and shit. We're talking about the Rockets and the Astros and whatever the fuck else. Like we just out here.
Rockets begging to hopefully get the number 1 overall pick.
Please.
Adam Silver, do not fuck this up, bro. You know what you have
to fix it.
You know what we did with Yao Ming. We literally opened up the Chinese market. Give us the number 1 pick again. We deserve it, bro.
Yeah, you know what you have to do. Because, I mean, everybody misses us being the villain in the NBA. It was so much more fun.
Nobody wants to live in Oklahoma anyway.
Nobody wants to live in Oklahoma. Don't send Cade to Oklahoma.
We should have had Zion. No one wants him in New Orleans.
Yeah. Nobody's watching the Pelicans till this day, even though Zion is there. Just give us the fucking pick.
We got Zion over here tearing it up in New Orleans. Nobody's going to the game, even if it wasn't COVID times.
And, like, don't believe the lies about like the Knicks needing to be good for the NBA to be good.
They don't. They literally do not have to.
We don't need the Lakers. We don't need any of that shit. We need the Houston fucking Rockets. You see the product.
One team stood up to the Warriors during their run and really went out there and tried. We deserve the number 1 pick, and it's gonna happen, guys. I know it's gonna happen, so I'm not worried about it.
Yep.
All right. That it?
That's it.
All right. We're not gonna. I'm not gonna get slandered by the end of this podcast. I'm not gonna get people listening to the end of this and being like, T-Shadow, what the? Anyway, but you know what's great about having a losing team is that you can just slander whoever. Who I smoke? Hornets. They stink.
Hornets.
Get them out of here.
I'm being a horrible host and I got to go take a piss, but I'll holler at y'all. Good pod,
All right. That was a great pod. We're out.
Thanks, guys.
All right.
That was fun, man.